A message for the real people out here. It's time to wake up and realize there is no middle ground position. There is no option to fence sit. You are either on God's program or you are on the devil's program. There is nothing else. There is no third option. Jesus said, "He that is not with me is against me, and he that gathereth not with me scattereth abroad." Jesus does not say things for nothing. He means what he says, and he says what he means. Do not be deceived. This is your Flat Earth movement. These people, and anyone connected with these people, are all shills and working together. This should be obvious by now to anyone paying attention. These people have turned Flat Earth into a reality TV clown show. It has gotten so bad out here that it is at the stage now where it is suddenly okay to be an open Satanist, and so-called truthers are up here in front of us promoting witchcraft like it's a good thing. It's ridiculous. On the upside though, they are getting exposed quite well of late, and there are people out here doing good work exposing these lying charlatans, and people are waking up to it. So what I want to do here is take a look at how bad the open Satanism has become, and just analyze the rhetoric coming out of these people. One really obvious and almost comical example of what I'm talking about here is Dell from Beyond the Imaginary Curve YouTube channel. He was recently exposed as a Satanist and Freemason very well by a channel called La Verdad Absoluta, which is Spanish for the absolute truth. I won't cut his lunch here, and if you have not seen his video, go check it out. He does a really good job exposing Freemason imagery and rhetoric on his Facebook, and also on the tattoos on his arms. A few days later, Dell comes out to do his damage control video on this situation by claiming we are all satanic witches and wizards, and that's what I want to have a look at today. Just how brazen these people have become, because quite frankly, I'm shocked at the volume of people who can't see through this garbage. So basically what we have here is a man who has been exposed parading around the Flat Earth community as a so-called truther, when in reality he's simply a lying Satanist on the payroll, who has all the red flag, Illuminati, Masonic signs and symbols tattooed all over his arms. He's one of them. He knows that most of us know that that stuff is bad, because we've been out here watching Illuminati exposed videos for how many years now. So what he's going to do here instead is tiptoe around that and dismiss it and avoid it, and instead employ some clever rhetorical techniques to not only run apologetics for himself, but also to promote Satanism as a legitimate and even wholesome ideology. So let's have a listen.
Well, hello there, you bunch of satanic witches and wizards, every single one of you. Now, I know that you might think I'm joking, but I ain't joking. Every single one of you are practicing it. Okay? Every single one of you out there are involved in it, whether you like it or no. And I just want to try and clear it up for you. Anybody who doesn't know what I'm talking about, I had a hangout the other night where we discussed, you know, there was claims and allegations being made about me being a Satanist, Mason Satanist, whatever.
Whatever. Right off the bat here, Dell's gonna dismiss the allegations like it's nothing. Just wave it away and not talk about it again. On top of that though, he's also gonna try and invert it on you. He's gonna say that we're all Satanists, and that even though we don't know it, we're doing the same stuff he's doing.
So I wanted to make this wee video. You know, a couple of comments have kind of, you know, provoked me into making this. And I just want to clarify it, and I want to help people to see that they are involved in these practices, whether they like it or no, and that the buzzwords and the terminologies are being used against you, and they are being used to divide your mind so that you're battling with yourself internally.
So what the game is here is a bit of a satanic Jedi mind trick, where Dell is going to redefine terms for us. He's going to convince us that words like satanic don't really mean what they mean, so he can erect a straw man. Just have a listen to Dell's definition, and I will put up the actual definition to compare. Sorry Dell, words have meanings, and even a powerful wizard like you cannot change them.
Okay, so when I talk about, we hear this word satanic, for me it's nonsense, okay? And it has been misrepresented and used deliberately, in a negative light, and misrepresented deliberately in a negative light. So I'm going to start just here with a comment just to point some of these kind of things out before I explain why I am saying that every one of you are involved in practicing these things, because you are, right? So this was from a chap called Dean. Dale, you're normally on point, mate. To dismiss ritual sacrifice and such with a know-all attitude is dangerous, if not more, than claiming these things. So right away I can see these misunderstandings and these buzzwords that people are, misinterpreting. Before we get to why I'm calling you a practicing Satanist or a witch or a wizard, I just want to highlight these kind of things here. So look, the word ritual. Now,
Nado is going to redefine the word ritual for us and convince us it actually means the same as habit. That way he can remove any religious connotations, so we think we are engaging in rituals every day when we are not, by convincing us mundane things like drinking a cup of tea are actually a ritual.
Or a ritual practice, don't let that sway you into thinking, oh look, first and foremost I want to clear this up. See, anybody who is slicing a fucking goat or sacrificing a child to some altar, to some invisible being, to me they're mentally deranged and they're criminals, right? That's it. No some other fancy word. Mentally deranged criminals, end of story, right? And the full force of the law should be brought upon them, right? That's it. So, ritual. Everybody practices rituals. A ritual is simply something that is like a repetitive pattern, something that you do repetitively. So
yeah, that's called a habit, not a ritual, dude. Like habitual liar.
People who get up in the morning, they have a cup of tea, they have a smoke, they go to the toilet, they come back, they have a cup of tea, and then go on with their day. That's a ritual practice, okay? And they can have ritual symbols or tokens in there. So what brand of toilet roll you use, what brand of tobacco you smoke, what brand of tea you drink, these are part of your ritual, okay? Now that is pretty much it, right? And that, for people gives them comfort, they're used to that pattern, that's their ritual behaviour. Sacrifice.
So he's laid out 2 redefinitions on us now and calmed everyone's fears, but just in case anyone listening is not entirely comfortable with having those words redefined for them, he's going to throw in a 3rd word here and give the correct definition, just to consolidate the preceding 2 lies.
Sacrifice is another loaded term when we're talking about this type of topic. Sacrifice can be in different contexts. So I can sacrifice some selfish, desire for a better motorcycle because I know that I can't get the better motorcycle because I have to have money for my children. So there I'm sacrificing my own selfish desires and wants because I'm taking responsibility and applying it somewhere else. So, people are confusing these words, and somebody like this who's, misusing it, obviously, or misunderstanding who I am and what it is I'm actually trying to say.
Right. Now Dale's laid some foundations with us and done his best to neutralise the fact that he's a Satanist. He's going to get on the front foot here a bit and talk down to us like children. He's going to make it seem like we're the ones who don't know what words really mean, and that we actually have no idea what Satanism is, and that we have just been fooled by some pop culture variant of it, and that actually he knows better than we do, and it's not that bad after all. Like none of us are actually researchers out here and can't work it out for ourselves. No. We need this Masonic wizard to explain it to us the right way.
And the reason that I wanted people to go and look at these things like Satanism, the Satanic Bible, is so that you have a better understanding of them rather than listening to hearsay. If you're having an opinion on it and you don't know the material, what is your opinion? It's bollocks, right? You can't have that opinion until you understand it. So, anyway, I'm not going to keep it, too long. I just want to make this, and if anybody is interested in discussing it further, we can do that at one of the live events. I just want to clear some of this up to show people the hypocrisy that is in the world and why people are practicing Satanists or using these very tools. So we'll talk about lesser magic here. Which is attributed to Levian Satanism, or the types of philosophy. So what is lesser magic? Lesser magic is simply using your will, your intent to affect other people to bring about, a result that you desire. Okay? Now, you, me and everybody else are employing these things every single day. It's not the tools, it's not the fact that we employ these tools that's the negative, it's the outcome, it's your intent and what you're trying to bring about that for me is the problem. Okay, so if you go to your partner and you want some loving attention from your partner, you know that in your mind, you know what you're wanting to gain from it, so you will say certain things or act out certain things in order to get that reaction from your partner, like you look beautiful, you smell lovely, I love you, and then you may get the reaction that you're looking for. Now people look at that as that's warm and wholesome and good, which is fine, whatever. I can also use the very same tools to put somebody down, make them feel bad, make them feel guilt, so I can say to my partner, I hate you, you smell horrible, you're ugly, blah blah blah. Whatever my desire is, whatever my intent is, I'm going to achieve that by the content, the method that I use. The tools are there, we employ them every single day.
Right, and doesn't that sound nice? I tell you what, let's go to the horse's mouth, just how Dell wants us to. Let's go and have a look at this satanic Bible and see exactly what old mate Anton LaVey has to say about lesser magic here. Let's just go and have a look. Okay, the Satanic Bible, Book of Belial, Chapter 1. Non-ritual or manipulative magic, sometimes called lesser magic, consists of the wile and guile obtained through various devices and contrived situations, which when utilized can create change in accordance with one's will. Okay, so it turns out that lesser magic is just lying. So go around and create contrivances and lie and deceive people to affect change the way you want. Yeah, that sounds great. I thought this was the truth community. I thought we were all about the truth out here. Apparently not. Didn't really sound like that the way Dell explained it, did it? I tell you, it's those high and mighty Christians, they're the ones. Let's have a look what it says in the normal Bible about lying. Proverbs 12:22. Lying lips are abomination to the Lord, but they that deal truly are his delight. I think I'm going to go with the normal Bible this time.
Okay, regardless of whether you believe that or not, that's a fact. You do employ it every single day. Right? You might not be aware of it. Maybe by me discussing it here, you will see it. Right?
Yeah, sorry Del, I'm going to have to disagree with you there, man. Lying and deceiving people to get what I want isn't really one of the tools I employ. Nor is it one that most people employ. Looks like it's one that you seem to employ though.
So, when we talk about lesser magic, that's what we're talking about. You're using your will in order to bring about events or manipulate people into certain situations that you want to see happening. Like, look at my journey. I openly expressed this from the beginning. These people, the elites, the authorities, the rulers, whatever you like, they are using these tools.
That's exactly right, Del. Probably the most truthful thing you've said so far. They are using these tools. They are lying to us every single day. Just like you are.
To bring about a world that they like, that they want. Right? And I said this from the very beginning. We have to employ the very same things. No shy away from it. Not get into a mindset of, I am holier than thou. Some saviour will come and save me from all this horrible nastiness, and all I have to do is sit here on my high horse, passing judgment because I am holier than thou.
Oh man, it's those pesky Christians again. Why do they always do that with their judging and their pointing things out and they're calling a lie a lie? Oh man, they're the worst.
That's not going to get you anywhere. All that's going to do is put you in a situation of being passive.
Right, don't want to be passive, do we, Del? Better to get out there and wield some lesser magic, a few well-placed lies here and there, get the ball rolling, get stuff done. Now Del's going to erect a straw man of Christians where they're all lazy and stupid and waiting around for Jesus to return. And if they just pipe down and let people get things done, then the world would be a better place. Oh man, those damn Christians.
Ignorant, lazy, while other people who know these things achieve what they want to achieve in the world, regardless of whether you think it's good, evil, whatever. They are using these methods and these tools to bring about what they want to see happening. Right? So you need to understand that, and if you understand it, you can then combat it, you can stand up against it, you can start to affect the world in the way you want to see, what you want to see happening. So for me, I said that from the beginning, we employ these same tactics, and I have done so throughout this whole journey. I've spoke about times when I've invoked anger and passion because I want to instill that in other people in regards to specific topics or certain scenarios. I feel as if people should be standing up and being aggressive towards these things because they're detrimental to the individual. Okay, they are oppressive to the individual, so I want people to have a fuck you, no nonsense attitude. So I walk that walk, I put that out there, hoping to invoke it in other people. So I'm being a Satanist, I am being manipulative. Okay, now I understand that and I embrace that. So I'm being a Satanist, I am being manipulative. Okay, now I understand that and I embrace that. So I'm being a Satanist, I am being manipulative. Okay, now I understand that and I embrace that.
Sorry, Del, that was a cheap one. But just look at the garbage that these guys normalise.
Because I'm not shy and I'm not scared to admit it and realise these things. But on the other hand, you have these do-gooders who profess that they are God's children, spiritual guru type things that want to chastise people like me, while they sit there employing the very same tools that we're using, calling other people satanic while they sit on some fucking high horse, professing that they are, Lord the God type characters.
Basically what he's saying here is that people who show a bit of integrity and call a spade and really stand for the truth, they're the problem here. That's what he's saying. That's exactly what he's saying.
And that's the way you have to be, which is fucking ridiculous, right? They can live in ignorance if they like, right? I don't want to live in ignorance. I would rather understand things for how they are. Okay, understanding takes you further. Understanding moves you on. It evolves you within your mind. Okay, so that you're not stuck in some rut, thinking that you've got a grasp on things and that you're waiting on some saviour or some higher entity or some higher power to come and sort it all out, and you're going to get your wee gold star just because you sat there and did fuck all.
Gee, tell us how you really feel, Del. He really hates Christians, doesn't he? I love this caricature they always prop up, how Christians are just passive clowns who have no idea what's going on, sitting on their hands waiting for Jesus to come. Does the Bible tell us to sit around like cowards? No, it says nothing of the sort. It says that God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. And it tells us to have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather to reprove them, i.e. calling out liars, which is why Del here doesn't like it, because he wants to be out here weaving his spells and lies, serving his masters, and we know who his masters are because their gang signs are tattooed all over his arms.
People in what we would subjectively term as nice, positive, good, then, go and achieve it. If your will is to, suppress people, oppress people, murder people, blah, blah, your will is still going to achieve that. That's what gets things done. Okay? Regardless of what you, the observer, view out of it, it doesn't matter. We're talking about the very tools and how to get things happening in reality. Right? Know your ideology.
Know your ideology indeed. See, the problem with Del's worldview is there can be no such thing as an ideal worldview, and this is a problem all atheists have. Because in his world, good and bad are subjective, not objective. In his worldview, there can be no consensus on what is the correct ideology, because he defines his own opinion of right and wrong as the objective standard,
even though his opinion is not an objective standard. If that is your standard, then there can be no ultimate correct ideology, because everyone has a different standard. He's still strawmanning too with this idea that using your will is satanic. Using your will to do things is not a satanic practice. If I use my free will that God gave me to go out and give people the gospel and win souls to the Lord, that is not satanic. But if I go out and use my will to tell people that lying to get your way is a good thing, like Dell here is doing, well, that is satanic. The guy is a liar.
Your ideal scenario of a utopia. Okay? So, I've digressed a wee bit. Let me just gather my thoughts here so that I can make the point clearer. So, I don't know if I spoke, I can't remember now, if I spoke about the music industry just as another avenue.
Dill harps on here about how the music industry does satanic things but is not satanic. We all know what the music industry is. I'm going to skip through some of this.
If we talk about greater magic is more about your own transformational psychodrama, using certain methods in order to get your mind to a place that you want it to be, so that you can achieve certain things. So that's a different aspect of this. I'm just going to focus purely on this.
So that's an interesting explanation of what greater magic is there from Dell. So I'm going to get lazy here and just go to Wiki for this, because to be honest, I don't want to keep defiling my mind looking up witchcraft. So here's Wiki's explaining of greater magic. Greater magic is a form of ritual practice and is meant as psychodramatic catharsis to focus one's emotional energy for a specific purpose. These rites are based on three major psycho-emotive themes: compassion, love; destruction, hate; and sex, lust. The space in which a ritual is performed is known as an intellectual decompression chamber, where skepticism and disbelief are willfully suspended, thus allowing the magicians to fully express their mental and emotional needs, holding back nothing regarding their deepest feelings and desires. This magic could then be employed to ensure sexual gratification, material gain, personal success, or to curse one's enemies. LaVey also wrote of the balance factor, insisting that any magical aims should be realistic. These rituals are often considered to be magical acts, with LaVey's Satanism encouraging the practice of magic to aid one's selfish ends. Much of satanic ritual is designed for an individual to carry alone. This is because concentration is seen as key to performing magical acts. Yeah. So here's an example here. Greater magic, destruction. It's a destruction ritual. Destroy your target either literally or metaphorically. Emotions used: anger, annoyance, disdain, contempt, hate. May involve symbolic human sacrifice, effigy, doll, etc. Ritual fire, hammers, can be performed in a group or alone. Is this not the same garbage we've seen coming out of IPS?
This negative connotation with the word satanic and Satanism. So we have to have clear definitions, we have to have clear understanding of what it is we're talking about. We have to have clear definitions, we have to have clear understanding of what it is we're talking about. We have to have clear definitions, we have to have clear understanding of what it is we're talking about.
Look, I'm pretty bored of Dell now, so I'll just wrap it up with a comparison, because I want to pay close attention to something that many people cannot seem to understand the implications of. And that is what it means objectively if you make yourself the ultimate authority of right and wrong. If you do this, then you are, by definition, giving yourself God status and erecting an idol of yourself. The moment you do that, you're engaging in the exact type of ideology that Dell and Co. here are teaching. If you don't know where your standards of right and wrong come from, you better work that out pronto. So let's check out some of these guys preaching the doctrine I'm talking about here.
I hope that, I've made it clear, and that people break away from this false dichotomy that's been created within the mind through religious institutions of this good guy saviour and this evil guy opposer, because they are mythical beings as far as I'm concerned. You are the power, you are the power, you are the power, right? You have the tools here Okay, you can make whatever rules you want for yourself and be subject to your own rules. You can make whatever rules you want for yourself and be subject to your own rules. You can make whatever rules you want for yourself and be subject to your own rules, your own disappointments, your own letdowns, because you're the one that sets up everything in your life. You're in total control of that, right? It's up to you whether you take control of it and whether you want to understand it.
Okay, now let's hear that piece of slime Jeranism preaching the same garbage.
Do you have a religion? If yes, please describe.
I guess my religion would be Jeranism, which is, it's a belief that trusting yourself is the only logical religion that somebody should have. So people will say, like, is Jeranism a religion? Well, no, not for anyone else. It's a religion for me, but I think everyone should have their own religion. So Mrs. would be Missism and John's would be Johnism. It's just kind of personally tapered religion. Because I think all religions are man-made, so if you're going to believe in one, it should be your own.
Are you a Satanist, Luciferian, Wiccan, occultist, or a supporter of the Illuminati?
Absolutely not. None of them. None of the above. No, 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 and no.
I don't believe in Christianity. Jesus Christ can suck my dick. I don't care about those things. Those things are fake. Those things are put here by people trying to control you. I don't believe in Christianity. Jesus Christ can suck my dick. I don't care about those things. Those things are fake. Those things are put here by people trying to control you.
What is wrong and right? And in our case, we are making up our reality. We decide what's right and wrong. You are letting the Bible or Jesus Christ or whatever God may be
even
decide.
Common sense. I mean, even leaving God out of it to suggest that you can make up your own reality. My goodness, that's what they did in Tiananmen Square. That's what they did in Germany in 1933. I mean,
and that's what they're doing in America in
These are examples of people who created their own reality.
Everyone creates their own reality. The thing is, you speak for a consensus of reality which is acceptable. We speak for one which at this point in history is not acceptable. Well, so it's just a question of who manipulates the media, who has the most money to put their reality forth.
But would you pardon me saying that I find a world in which your ability to conjure your own reality as you perceive it to be a very frightening world for people like me. Because, you see, I'm guided by some codified rules that tell me what is right and wrong. In your world, I'm not so sure I would feel very safe.
Well, you would see that's your problem. That's your problem. That's your problem.
And this is where this lie comes from. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord God had made. And he said to the woman, Yea, hath God said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God hath said, Ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. Well, God never said you couldn't touch it, so that was the first lie in the Bible. And the serpent said to the woman, Ye shall not surely die, for God doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, that your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. See, the second you set yourself up as the arbiter of right and wrong, you took the devil's bait and gobbled it up. So anyway, I think that will do. I hope people out there get something out of this and can see the point I'm making here and how it applies. You always hear in conspiracy circles people referring to them, and people still on the Kool-Aid will always say, who's they? And everyone has their boogeyman and says it's the Jews or X or Y or whatever. And it is the Jews. I'm not saying it's not the Jews. But it runs deeper. Even the Jews answer to the devil. And in reality, it's people who subscribe to these kind of worldviews of which the Jews are the chief proponents who are the real problem.